Hello, everybody. My name is Hazy. I am 16 years old, and already at this early age, I support the whole family. I pay for my brother and sister's studies, buy food at home, pay the loan for the apartment, and many other worries. My life doesn't run like that of my coevals. For example, I can't go to a cafe, cinema, or other entertainment places. I don't buy a lot of different clothes, and I don't have much free time. But despite this, I try to get a good education. But this was not always that case. As a child, I had the happiest family. We didn't deny ourselves anything. Every year we went to different countries on vacation. My father was an IT information technology specialist. My mother was a housewife. She looked after me and my little brother and sister. By the way, they are twins. Their names are Rudy and Cody. Mom just wouldn't have time to go to work. Although she had her own hobby, she wanted to become a fashion designer. In spare time, she sewed beautiful dresses. I enjoyed watching this process. She was so good at it, and it looked great. And often the whole family would gather around the fireplace in the evening and play various board games. These were cozy evenings. How quickly all good things come to an end. One day, my father went on a business trip for a week. This was not unusual. He was often away. But this time, he didn't come alone. And there was another woman with him, with a slim figure and large forms. My mother was also very beautiful. Father decided to choose her. He said that he will leave to her to live together, and leaves us. That day, he packed up all his things and left. It was a shock for us. My mother did not know what to do next and how to feed the family herself. She hadn't worked anywhere before. I didn't understand why my father did this to us. My mother had no choice but to find some part-time job. At the time, I was old enough to look after my little brother and sister, and my mother started working as a hotel maid. Since she needed a lot of money, she worked almost all day. She also had to pay for the loan. I understood that it took a lot of effort to work and to do household chores. She only slept for 4 hours a day. I somehow tried to help her and tried to take all the responsibilities of the house on myself. She raised the younger ones, kept the house clean and tidy, and even learned to cook. But it was still not enough. My mother needed support. She was morally depressed and often nervous. Because of this, she began to have headaches and she lost a lot of weight and looked exhausted. I forgot to even think about my dream. In addition to my chores, I started walking my neighbor's dogs after school. For this, I was given $5 for each. I took my little sister and little brother together and walked. They liked to play with the dogs. And looking at how much fun they had with them, I remembered our cozy times next to the fireplace. This made me feel happy and at peace. And I was very fond of dogs. One day I got my mother's sewing machine and tried to make a dress for my mother myself. I wanted to make her happy so that she would forget all her worries and sorrows, at least for a minute. Persistently and diligently displayed every line on the dress. But in the end, I got something small and confusing. After a little thought, I came up with the idea to change some elements from making clothes for a dog. I still have a talent from my mother. And soon I made a beautiful miniature dress. I was very happy with my work. The next day, on another walk with the dogs, I tried to put this dress on one of them, namely the little Spitz. The sizes all matched and the dress fit very well. Spitz looked even cuter in it. I decided to give her my creation. On the way home, everyone started looking around and looking at the dog with great interest, and the landlady was delighted with her. In gratitude, she bought a suit for $15. I refused to take money for a long time, since it was my gift, but persistently gave and thanked. I was delighted that everyone liked my mini dress. The next day, the same hostess asked me to make a couple more suits. And in addition to this, she said that she has two other friends who would be happy if they sewed for them. I didn't sleep until morning that day. It was a huge creative process. But by the time I was happy, I had done everything. Both the dogs and their owners were very happy. Since then, I still sew different sets of clothes for pets. And I even have my own little mini collection. And I'll tell you the truth, I don't make a bad living on this. But despite my work, I try to keep up and not miss school. My sewing brings me great pleasure, and I don't really want to spend my free time on other activities. And my mother is very proud of me. And she doesn't have to work too hard anymore, but she still goes to work so she doesn't have to put all the responsibilities on me. And I was happy with everything. And I have one dream. I want my mother to start her hobby again and become a good fashion designer. I hope everything will still come true.